Hey, Professor Bear here. I want to show you something about how software actually gets built when you're working with AI tools. And I want to start with a question, because there's a version of this most people are running, and it's quietly costing them. What you're looking at is a site called Boondoggle. I'll explain the name in a minute, but before I do, let me tell you what software development is actually made of. Not what it looks like from the outside, what it's made of. Most people, when they pick up Claude Code or Cursor, have a mental model that goes something like, you describe what you want, the AI writes the code, you check it, you're done. The AI does the coding. Your job is to prompt well. That's the vibe code version. Here's what's actually happening when a senior developer builds something well. The writing of code, the literal keystrokes, is maybe 20% of the job. The other 80 is decisions. What variables matter here? What the failure modes are, what needs to be verified by a human before the next step can run, what order things have to happen in. That's not prompting, that's thinking. And it's the part nobody talks about because it's invisible. So I built a tool called GRU. When you type /help, it shows you the menu. But what it actually does, underneath the menu, is walk you through a structured thinking process before any code gets written. You talk through the intake, the system, the domain, the scope, the build sequence. For this site here, that conversation took about 2 hours. 2 hours of thinking before one line of code. And at the end of that process, GRU generates what I call the boondoggle report. This is what gives the method its name. A boondoggle, in the old sense, was a project with unclear value. Something where you couldn't tell what was real work and what was just motion. The boondoggle report exists to make that distinction impossible to miss. What you're looking at right now is a clear separation. Here's what Claude does. Here's the exact prompt. Here's what the human does. Here are the steps. Nothing is left ambiguous. For this particular site, there were 9 Claude tasks and 11 human tasks. More human tasks than Claude tasks, but the Claude tasks ran fast and clean. The human tasks didn't take longer. They just required a human. This is a sequence of run, then verify. It's exactly what it sounds like. A literal prompt you paste in to verify that a piece of the build works before you move to the next one. No guessing, no assuming. You get a result or you don't. No errors, everything passed. That's the sequence working the way it's supposed to. Now this part here, I call it frick-fracking. I wanted to add a section between 2 existing sections, so I just described it. Add this below that, above the other thing. Claude did it. Redid the alternating layout pattern. Done. Frick-fracking is the small iterative work. You're not designing the system, you're adjusting it. This is normal. This is fine. This is actually one of the things Claude does extremely well. Small, precise edits with clear before and after instructions. And then there's noodling. That's the dreaming phase. The phase where you're figuring out what you want to build before you've figured out how. That's human work too, but it's a different kind. Here's where this all comes from. This is the irreducibly human framework. And specifically, this is from a course called Conducting AI. The idea behind irreducibly human is simple. Some things AI does superbly. Some things only humans do. Not because AI hasn't gotten there yet, but because they require a kind of cognition that's structurally different from pattern completion. What you see on this diagram, orchestration, problem formulation, plausibility auditing, deciding what needs a human, this is what conductors do. A conductor doesn't play an instrument. They hear the whole thing. They know which part is wrong before anyone can name it. They hold the intention across time. Software engineering, done well, is conducting. You don't want to outlift a forklift. You want to know when to use it, how to maintain it, when to put it down, and how to build something a forklift can't touch. That's not a consolation prize. That's the whole job. The tools are all here. The GRU prompt is right there. You can copy it. If you're not on Claude, there'll be tools to convert to ChatGPT and Gemini as well. The boondoggling methodology doesn't depend on the specific tool. It depends on being honest about the separation. This is video 1 of what's going to be a lot of examples. Every time I boondoggle a project, I'll put the output up here so you can see what the reports actually look like at different scales. The goal isn't to show you a clever prompt. The goal is to show you what it looks like when a human takes their part of the work seriously. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thanks for watching the Nick Bear Brown YouTube channel. Professor Bear, teaching the thing underneath the thing.